Thank you. Please be seated. Prefect joke of the day is, what concert costs 45 cents? 50 Cent featuring Nickelback.
Good morning, everyone. Mr. Samuel said, who's Nickelback and who's 50 Cent? So you'll have to explain that to him afterwards. You have to explain it to me, too, actually. We're going to begin with hymn number 27, Morning Has Broken. Please stand. Thank you all. Please be seated. So next Sunday is, anybody know? Earth Day, right. So it's a good time to begin to reflect on and think about our relationship with Mother Earth. And, clearly our sensitivity around environmental issues has increased and grown over the years. Like, we talk more about it. I'm not sure that, we're there yet in terms of our environmental awareness and sensitivities. And as I've been thinking about this, I think part of the problem with the fact that we don't seem to get it very well, we just continue to do things that are bad for Mother Earth. I think part of the problem is that we think of nature as a kind of a hierarchy with us at the top. We're human beings. We have science, we have technology, we understand nature, we can analyze it and dissect it. And how's that working for us, Generally, that kind of idea that we're in charge has not worked well. It's led to us exploiting natural resources and kind of leaving destruction in our wake. So is there another way to think about it? And of course there is, because the idea that nature is this pyramid with us on the top doesn't really work. It doesn't make sense, because nature really isn't that. It's really a system. It's a system in which all living creatures have an important part to play. And when we see nature as a system, of course, then we see the place of human beings really shifts, because we as human beings don't actually contribute all that much to nature. When we see nature as a pyramid, we think we're on the top and bugs and worms and things are on the bottom. But when we think about nature as a system, of course, if you think about it, you could take humans out of the equation and the world would go on just fine. But if you take, for instance, bees and worms out of the equation, it wouldn't take very long for the Earth to die, because they're so essential to the continuation of nature, keeping the system going. So I think, what we lack in our approach very often is a sense of humility and connection. And so that's kind of my message this morning, to think about our connection to nature and our kind of place as part of the system, the natural system, and how we might contribute to that with all of our technology and our brilliance and our thinking, how we might use that to serve nature rather than to exploit it. I don't know if you know this, the word humility has the same root as the Greek word humus, which means, anybody know? Dirt, right? So humility really means being connected to the earth, and so something to think about this morning. And that's all I'm going to say, because I want to introduce somebody else to come up and talk to us very practically about what we can do to kind of improve our relationship with Mother Earth. And this person doesn't know I'm going to do this, but I just want to say, I'm going to ask Mr. Noble to come forward, but just as he does, I want to say that, since I've been here, Mr. Noble has been passionate, tireless, consistent in his kind of inspiration to us to consider, to do recycling well, to consider our use of resources here. He has been a consistent voice, and I don't think that he gets acknowledged enough for that. If it wasn't for Mr. Noble, this community would be far poorer in terms of our awareness of our responsibilities to the environment. So as he comes up, I just invite you to welcome him up, and in thanks for all of his good work. Mr. Noble.
Thanks, Rev. Passionate, yes. More like tired than tireless these days. But anyway, and what the Rev said about the Earth Day, that's about it. I can call that a day. Thanks. I think he was reading off my notes here, but though it's a bit premature, I'd like to begin by wishing you all a wonderful Earth Day. Earth Day is celebrated every April 22nd, and the first one was held back in 1970. Just months before my first day as a grade 8 student at Shawnigan. Think about it. Earth Day is a day to remind ourselves and others of the beauty and wonder of the natural world around us. It also encourages us to take a closer, more critical look at our role and our place in this world, and recognizing that by doing the right thing by Mother Earth, we are in fact doing the right thing for ourselves. Now, this is our morning chapel service for the week, and I will say that I thoroughly enjoy the singing, the Rev's words, your generosity in sharing your incredible talents up here. Where my spirits get lifted most, though, is when I'm outside enjoying nature, whether it's camping or hiking with my wife, mountain biking with my friends, or just strolling along the path around Lake Omar. That does it for me. So, let's talk briefly about a photo I shared with all of you students in an email yesterday. Did anybody open their email yesterday? Okay, great. As a reminder, I've got my iPad here, and so I'm just going to walk to the audience and get some reflections about this photo, and then I'll come back up and talk. I guess I just have to talk into it. Mr. Robertson's right. Everybody averts their eyes away from when he does this. But why don't I start with our prefect for the day? What do you see here, Nyla? Just in 3 words or less.
There's some stuff that could be composted that's not composted.
Okay, she's getting right to the point of what I was looking at. But on a more, on just the simplest level, what did you look at? What are you seeing?
There's a lot of garbage.
And where is that garbage?
That's pretty gross.
And where is that garbage?
It's a garbage can.
It's in a garbage can. So you all, those who looked at the picture yesterday saw a picture of a garbage can, and we've heard a little bit about what's in that garbage can. Does anybody know, do you know where that garbage can is on campus?
Marion Hall. Say it again. It's outside of Marion Hall.
It is. It's right here, just outside between the chapel and Marion Hall. What do you see that looks good, like it's the right thing happening there?
I don't know. Like.
Okay. Brandon, what do you, anything in this picture that, well, let's go the other way. No, let's stick with is there anything good about this picture?
I'm not so sure there's anything good about that picture.
Okay. I was thinking the fact that there's stuff in it is better than being on the ground, but on closer inspection, there is some on the ground beside it. What could be improved on this one here? Anything?
It could be tidier.
It could be tidier. There we go. I think I'll leave it at that as far as quick analysis. Let me describe it for you. For those who didn't get a chance to look at it, it is a garbage can. It is full. In fact, it's overflowing. At the top of it, this mound coming out of the top is the following. I see 2 drink bottles, a paper cup, an orange peel, 2 banana peels, a Smarties cardboard box. I think it's a juice box in the background, and the remnants of it looks like a napkin of some sort. Now, I don't know if you realize when I'm rattled off those, but not one of those items is by itself garbage. None of them. When that bag gets picked up, though, and it gets tied off, and it's chucked in the back of the truck, it's all garbage. And that's what happens all the time. We have a waste management crisis of sorts on campus. And it wasn't too long ago, if we go, Shawnee Lake School was the envy of other schools and institutions for the sustainable manner in which we managed our waste. We were even competing against each other in the friendly inter-house frog competition. Fanatical recycling's our goal is what it stood for. And yeah, the current holders, although we haven't had the competition for a while, Groves and Strathcona are co-holders of that. I'll give you one example of how how we've been changing from being the envy. 4 years ago, our garbage production was 1 dumpster a week. In the last 4 years, our student population has risen about 11%. Our garbage production over the same time, nearly 300%. Aside from the fact that quadrupling our tipping fee, which is costing us a bunch, much of what is carted away isn't even garbage and shouldn't be going to the landfill at all. So as we progress through Earth Week and towards Earth Day, that's better. And though I recognize many of you are already doing this, let me suggest one thing to do for now. In your dorms, offices, bedrooms, study bedrooms, give yourself the choice to do the right thing. I'm not sure how many rooms on campus have all 3 choices that I would go with. Some even have 4. Duxbury had 4 for a while there. But having the choice of garbage, recycling, perhaps even compost in your room. I know some house directors are against that, but I think it can be done. You are going to give yourself a big chance of doing the right thing. This is a combination of nerves and the fact that I have the shakes all the time. Ask my students. So the recycle garbage and even compost, this is what you can do. I don't want you to fool yourself into thinking that you sort it, by sorting it, don't fool yourself by thinking you'll sort it all out when you deliver to the recycler room later in that week, that 1 bin that you're gonna sort through. The uneaten noodles have since spilled over the clean recyclables. The apple core and the banana peel are totally gross, and there's no way you're fishing out that soggy paper towel. And so it goes into the garbage. Back to Earth Day. It really is so much more than a day to clean up after our natural environment. But having said this Sunday, Earth Day, you have an opportunity to join the greater Shawnigan community in an I Love Shawnigan cleanup day. And I'll post a sign-up sheet outside the notice board near the Ritz if you'd like to volunteer help with this initiative. It'll be from noon till 2, and it's off campus, but close by, walking distance. There'll also be an opportunity on campus at the same time to get involved with a cleanup here, cleaning up our own campus. And the details of that event will be shared in the houses later this week. I'd like to close with a quote by the founder of the Four Seasons Resort and Hotels, Isidore Sharp. We are only what we do, not what we say we are. In whatever way you choose to spend this Sunday, and for that matter, every day, happy Earth Day.
Thank you, Mr. Noble. Thank you for that, and thank you for all the work that you do and for your kind of, I know sometimes you don't feel tired unless you feel tired, but thank you for continuing to nudge us and prod us and inspire us. And we're going to end with the Lonsdale's house hymn, How Great Thou Art, hymn number 7. Please stand. Thank you all. Have a great day.